This is Everyday Awesome, Need for Speed, take 1. Where's Talent? Where's Nate? Nate, what are you doing? We're getting ready to film.
I don't think I can do this.
Why?
I'm afraid of going fast, especially all the way up there.
But that means I have to find someone else for the stunt. Jada's already setting up her scenes, and Jeff is back at the studio with a broken arm. Speaking of, I just realized we left Jeff alone in the studio.
Hello? Can someone give me a hand?
I'm sure he's fine.
Well, I guess I can do it, even though I'm terrified of heights.
No, I'll do it.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to let everyone down.
Oh, thank you so much, Nate. And who knows, maybe you'll love it so much you'll want to race down it a bunch of times.
Let's just take this one step at a time.
Fair enough.
Hello?
This is a show that is made by kids, made for kids, played for kids. This is a show where anything can happen, everything is happening, it's about to happen. Every day, every day, every day, awesome.
Oh, hey there. Have you ever been in one of those situations where you know you should say something, but you're afraid to? It takes courage to speak up. There was this one time with my Uncle Bert. He had a huge bat in the cave. He had, you know what I mean? He needed to blow his nose because there was a booger in his nose. Anyway, I tried to get it out with this duster instead of having courage to say something. It turns out a duster was not the best tool for that job because Uncle Bert let out the biggest sneeze I've ever heard in my life. It took a whole afternoon to clean up that one. Today, we're talking about two men from the Bible named Joshua and Caleb. They showed great courage in a very scary time because they had faith in the Lord. Well, let's get back to the show and learn more about that fascinating story.
This is Everyday Awesome, Need for Speed, take 1. You've got this, Nate! You're gonna love it!
This is easy. All you gotta do is push off and gravity will take care of the rest.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Here we go!
What am I doing? I can't do this. This is crazy. Ah!
Have you ever felt like there was something big hanging just above your head? Kind of like that. Let me ask you a question. What would happen if I was to reach up and pop that balloon? There would probably be a loud noise, but could you tell me if there's anything inside? Maybe there's confetti or water. Or something even worse. If I pop the balloon while standing underneath it, I could get covered in some kind of slime, or even worse, glitter. That's kind of how it feels like when we know we should speak up. Have you ever heard all your friends saying something negative about someone, and you felt like you should say something positive? What stops us? Is it maybe that we don't know what's going to happen? Might we be afraid that if we speak up, our friends will laugh at us or won't like us anymore? Speaking up when we know we should can feel like popping a big balloon that's hanging just above our head. But what if popping that balloon is exactly what we need to do? What if someone else needs us to speak up for them because they can't speak up for themselves? That's when God gives us courage. Well, that wasn't nearly as bad as I thought it would be. It was actually kind of fun.
Stories of the Bible. Joshua and Caleb. This is Joshua.
Hello.
And this is Caleb.
Hey,
Joshua and Caleb were some of the Israelites who followed Moses out of Egypt into the wilderness to find the land that God had promised them.
Yeah! Come on!
Sometime after that, God told Moses to send out men to explore the promised land, which was called the land of Canaan. So Moses sent a leader from each of the 12 tribes of Israel, and Joshua and Caleb were among them. Moses told them to go see what the land was like and find out if the people living there were strong or weak. He told them to bring back a report of all they found.
Yeah, let's do it!
So the 12 men went and explored. While they were there, they found that the land was very good for crops.
Rock at rest.
They found a single cluster of grapes that took 2 men to carry.
That's good!
After 40 days, they returned to Moses and showed them the fruit they found. They said it was a land flowing with milk and honey, and that it was a good land. But they also said that the people living there were powerful, and that their cities were strong. They even saw giants there. But Caleb said, "Let's go at once to take the land. We can certainly conquer it."
Come on!
But the other men who were with him disagreed and spread the bad report all throughout the Israelite camp. This made the Israelites cry all through the night. They told Moses and Aaron that they wished they had died in Egypt or in the wilderness and asked for a new leader who would take them back to Egypt. Moses and Aaron fell face down on the ground. Joshua and Caleb tore their clothing. Joshua and Caleb told the people, "The land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land. And if the Lord is pleased with us, He will bring us safely into the land and give it to us. Do not rebel against the Lord, and don't be afraid of the people of the land. They have no protection, but the Lord is with us. Don't be afraid of them." But all the Israelites talked about hurting Joshua and Caleb. Then God's presence appeared to the Israelites, and God spoke to Moses. He was very angry at the Israelites and said to Moses, "Will they never believe me, even after all the miraculous signs I have done among them?" God said that He would make a new nation for Moses and that the Israelites would be no more. But Moses asked God to forgive the people, and God said He would, but that the people would wander in the wilderness for 40 years, and none of the people would enter the promised land except for Joshua and Caleb. The people did wander for 40 years. Moses died, and Joshua became the new leader of the Israelites. Time came for Joshua to lead the Israelites into the promised land that Joshua and Caleb had scouted many years before. Joshua led the people, including Caleb, into the promised land, for God was with him wherever he went.
Have you ever been in a moment where it felt like everyone was saying something that you just knew was wrong? In Numbers 14, Joshua and Caleb found themselves in that exact situation. So while everyone around them was shouting about how they could never survive the promised land, Joshua and Caleb said this to all the people: "The land we traveled through and explored is a wonderful land. And if the Lord is pleased with us, He will bring us safely into that land and give it to us. It is a rich land flowing with milk and honey. Do not rebel against the Lord, and don't be afraid of the people of the land." When the moment came for them to speak up, Joshua and Caleb chose to have courage. Even though they had seen all the scary things in the promised land, they remembered that God was stronger than any giant and more powerful than any city. They had the courage to stand up and speak the truth, even when nobody else would. Sometimes we face situations just like Joshua and Caleb did. Maybe it's standing up for a friend who's being bullied, telling the truth when it's hard, or sharing God's love with others. In those moments, we can remember Joshua and Caleb. Their courage came from their faith in God. So let's trust God and have courage, because we know that He will be with us.
If you like epic quests and solving mysteries, sailing on the high seas and soaring through the open skies. If you like things that are awesome, then you're gonna love one furry beast with an appetite for adventure and a really bad haircut. He is Ace Alpaca, traveling the world in search of answers to life's biggest questions and also to save the day.
Thanks for saving the day, Ace Alpaca.
Ace Alpaca, international hero. He's just awesome. In Numbers 14, Joshua describes the amazing land God led them to as a land flowing with A, riches, B, milk and honey, C, mustard. And the answer is B, milk and honey. When the time came for Joshua and Caleb to speak up about God's plan, they did so by having A, big vocabulary, B, blueberry pizza, C, courage. And the answer is C, courage. Joshua and Caleb were able to be courageous because they had what in God? A, knowledge. B, life insurance. C, faith. And the answer is C, faith. Until next time, be awesome.
This is easy. All you gotta do is push off and gravity will take care of the rest.
Yeah, easy.
Okay, are you ready?
Yeah, ready.
Here we go!
What am I doing? I can't do this. This is crazy.
What'd you think?
You know, I was really scared at first, but then I remembered that having courage means doing what you know you should do, even when you're afraid to do it. You needed me to do this skit, so I did.
And did you have fun?
You know, I did. A little. At the end.
Does that mean you want to do it again?
Not even a little.
Hey, thanks so much for joining us today. We learned that courage is doing the right thing even when it's hard, even when we are afraid. God has given us courage. There are stories all throughout the Bible that show people acting courageous. And sometimes that meant speaking up to tell others what God wanted them to hear. And it takes courage to speak up and say the right thing. But you know what? God is always with us, and His Holy Spirit gives us power to do what He calls us to do. Now, God helps us all have courage. Now, Lord, give me courage as we find out how much of a mess Jeff has gotten himself into. Here we go. Okay, Jeff.
Hey, Rob, how's your day going?
Oh my word, Jeff, how are you on the ceiling right now? Are you, don't move, I got you.
This is a show that is made by kids, made for kids, played for kids. This is a show where anything can happen, everything is happening, it's about to happen. Every day, every day, every day, every day, awesome.